instances of bizarre occurrences as we go over 5 mysterious glitches in reality that cannot be explained. The Mystery Man from Taured. One of the biggest pieces of evidence for that of a strange glitch in reality has left many wondering if this story is evidence of that of alternative realities and somehow a mix-up in the fabric of our universe that could have briefly intersected with another. Back in the month of July in 1954, Japanese officials at the Tokyo airport seemed to have a problem identifying the country of origin for a man that was ready to board the plane back for Europe. On his verified passport was the country of Taured that had no signs for a forged document. After sitting down with the man and questioning who he was and where he was going, he became increasingly annoyed as to why he was being held. They later revealed to him that the problem with trying to find his country of origin, of which didn't exist. After arguing with them to show the country on the map, they gathered several different world maps for him to use as evidence of his country's existence. As he pored over the map, pointing in the general direction near France and other areas, he realized that his country wasn't anywhere to be found. He became increasingly disturbed by this and told the officials that his country has been around for more than 1,000 years and that it didn't make sense. When they asked for him to confirm his identity, he gave the name of his company as well as the company he was visiting in Tokyo on a business meeting that had been scheduled ahead of time. The officials then called the Japanese company, but they quickly denied ever having heard of the man or of having any meeting scheduled. Additionally, they could find no evidence of the man's company whatsoever that seemed to not exist. This ended with the officials renting a hotel room for him to stay at with several guards watching him as they were unsure of what to do with him. When he laid down to fall asleep, he disappeared and was never seen again. The Time Traveller John Titor. Often regarded as the most popular story surrounding that of the overwhelming evidence of time travel is that of the story of the time traveller known as John Titor and the internet forum of which housed his many claims. According to the claims of the person who went by the name of John Titor, who first began posting on the forum back in 2000, he claimed that he was an American military time traveller sent from the year 2036 in an effort to recover an outdated piece of technology that can be reverse engineered in the future. Among his many claims were that of a terrible nuclear war that began in his world in 2004, but that in this timeline would not occur, as that he was jumping between timelines of which were different versions of parallel universes. This has led many skeptical of his claims. However, evidence of his legitimacy soon surfaced as he explained the mechanisms of his time machine and the world in which he comes from. According to John Titor, his machine worked by creating gravitational waves by using 2 trapped black holes that were positioned in binary orbit that were strong enough to warp space-time and to allow faster than light travel. Gravitational waves wouldn't be proven as a legitimate theory until 2014, when researchers at the LIGO Institute uncovered solid evidence of the existence of gravitational waves when observing a natural binary white dwarf formation out in the universe, ultimately proving the man as being a pioneer in theoretical physics and proving the legitimacy of his claims. The USS Eldridge. Referred to by many conspiracy theory groups as the Philadelphia experiment, the strange military experiments surrounding that of the United States military creating an electromagnetic bubble around the large naval vessel known as the USS Eldridge helped to create one of the strange anomalous properties of our world. Originally designed to create completely radar-invisible ships by bouncing radar waves around the ship, these experiments would go on to create a warped space-time field around the ship and transport it through time and space, ending up in different areas of the world and even sending 2 men through time in an effort to fix the timeline. Although the stories surrounding the Philadelphia experiment span many different accounts and decades worth of government cover-up and intervention, It eventually led to one of the men sent through time, Ed Cameron, coming into contact with humans of the far future as they were preparing to stop a cataclysmic event that was thought to be able to wipe out all life on the planet. Interestingly enough, despite these events having occurred back in the early 1950s, Ed Cameron would go on to make several startling premonitions about the future, including that of colour televisions in the future, flat-screen TVs, and even of future events such as that of hospital conditions, medicine, emerging technologies surrounding hospitals, as well as changes in the political map in the future. The majority of these findings were during his time spent in a hospital after being sent into the future of the late 1980s and spending a large amount of his time during this period watching TV, baffled by the technology of the future. The hikers on Devil's Mountain. Resting on the borders of San Pablo Laguna and Dolores Quicon is a mountain referred to by the locals living in the area as the Devil's Mountain. The mountain, known as Mount Cristobal, has been surrounded with a number of disappearances from hikers every single year that claims the lives of even the most experienced hikers in the region. Despite this, it appears that the majority of bodies have not been recovered from these missing hikers, leading some to believe that instead of perishing, they are taken to another world of some kind. One such story from the locals tells of that of a married couple that went on a hike to the mountain and stayed there for a few days. After they had met others and told them they would be taking a forked path, they were never seen from again, leaving many people wondering which path they had taken and become lost, since there seemed to have been no forked paths in the area. This story would later come up once again after a group of boys went to the mountain on a hiking trip and came across a married couple that fit the look and description of the couple that had went missing a few years prior, and so followed the couple, believing that they might be ghosts or strange manifestations of the lost couple. As they followed the couple, they witnessed them going down a forked path and so followed them, of which eventually led them to losing sight of the couple and sustaining injuries falling down an area of the mountain. This has led some to believe that the lost people of whom went hiking on the mountain are still there, stuck in a possible time loop or warped reality in which they are jumping through time and encountering other people of whom have went missing on the mountain years prior. These fears have left many, including experienced hikers, worried as to how or why these strange occurrences have been appearing on the mountain, and so leave many fearful of journeying through the region. The nature of the Untersberg Mountains. The Untersberg Mountain can be found amongst the Berchtesgaden Alps on the border of the countries of Germany and Austria. Although the site is regarded as one of the prime hiking spots for travellers coming from all around the world just to bask in its scenic beauty, it appears that the mountain holds a more sinister history. Researchers often regard the Untersberg Mountain as one of the most mysterious mountains in the world due to the fact that it appears to be at the centre of many different rumours that believe the mountains to hold ancient lost civilizations, the burial grounds of long-forgotten Roman emperors, and strange, never-before-seen creatures in its forests. In fact, these legends are so old that there are reports from the Nazi regime that the Nazi leader Adolf Hitler was focused on uncovering the strange mysteries of the mountain, and that he had funded the construction of a house on a nearby mountain to observe Untersberg through high-powered state-of-the-art telescopes and research equipment. Today, strange reports still occur, as travellers will often report that during their journeys they will suddenly lose track of time or notice that they are missing whole sections of time. In some cases, many have even claimed to suddenly waking up on a different area of the mountain altogether, with evidence that hours have passed since they were hiking before. People have suggested that this could be due to portals opening up that warp space and time and cause people to travel greater distances than is physically possible, whereas others believe it could be due to possible alien abductions. It is common in alien abduction reports for people to experience a strange loss of memories, time, or a form of mind wipe that follows an extraterrestrial attack. But what do you all think of these strange and almost supernatural occurrences that have left people wondering the nature of reality and strange glitches that can occur? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.